Hey guys, Rumba here. So today we're gonna start a series unless I'd say you have to be pretty mature and to watch this series because this series has a lot of disturbing and scary things in it. So if you are, I'd say, of 13 years or older, or um, you are definitely mature enough and can actually stand blood and stuff, then you can watch the series. But if you can't, then it's kind of gonna be a little hard. All right. I just wanted to say that as a disclaimer before the video starts. Um. All right. Here we are. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a safe experience playing this game. For content warnings, please visit blah 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 blah. Playing Doki Doki Literature Club, you agree that you are at least 13 years of age and you consent to your exposure of highly disturbing content. I am 13 years old, so I'm good. So I've watched about 40 minutes of video on this, and I think it seems like a fun but scary game. So yeah. I love how it makes it seem like it's like the best game ever and it's so nice, you know. Um but the game is so bad. Alright, new game. I don't know how to spell senpai. I'm not like shit. I'm just gonna put Rumba. I know most people don't put their YouTube channel names or anything. Hey, I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air, like she's totally obvious to oblivious. I'm stupid. She's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know that kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to watch school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I will get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase me after like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the cross deck and let Sayori catch up to me. Ah ha ha! I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were talking about ignoring me. That's mean, Rumba. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you didn't have it in you to be mean, even if you wanted to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Rumba, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you'd join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content and just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you are not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me that you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay. Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. I pack up my things, I stare blankly at a wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? And so come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you are even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. I have the stupidest voice for pretending to be a girl. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Here, I'm gonna max this out more. Oh, I thought that wasn't gonna work. So she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed to the club. She inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop. Oh, that's not her. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. Fucking hate myself. I'm a 13-year-old talking like this. Oh my god. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Girl 1, welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Girl 2, seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Rumbo, what a nice surprise from Girl 3. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. I'd say only Monica and Yuri are cute. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her once she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki. She's always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. But don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, that's nice to meet both of you. I think you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Rumba. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. We rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Alright. Come sit down, Rumba. We made room for you at the table so you can come sit next to me or Monica. I'm sorry, I'm bad at reading dialogue games, so this game's not going to be as good for me. Hey, I made them, I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how How about I make some tea as well? You making fucking tea inside of a school? What the hell? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens up the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take my seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Damn, that smile. Ta-da! Whoa! Oh my god. Natsuki lifts the foil of the tray Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The Liscos are drawing and icing, and the little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. I'm not doing this anymore. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. She waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I haven't I heard the summer before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did, Sayori said. Well, maybe, but not for you. No, you, dummy. Alright. I gave up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismissed the conversation. Yuri turns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole set of tea in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's trying to impress you. That's not insulting. Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. I suck at reading like this. Monica raises an eyebrow then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so that's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll show you, make you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member of any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. And I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You can put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all of the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard and convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes cool events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah. We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone that enthusiastically agrees. Why does Natsuki have this weird, shark tooth? I don't like that. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were also delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read in the past few years, I don't have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Suzuki's head perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. And not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. Is everything working? I just want to make sure before I get extremely far in the game that everything's working. Alright, we're good. My favorites. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Yo, that's crazy, I didn't know. Anyway, you've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I just desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well have a conversation with a rock. Really, I would not have expected that, Yuri. For some reason, for someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if the story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if it's only for a brief moment. That's really what this is. Fucking surreal horror. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. Looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. And give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Mine was up behind. Sayori sittles, what the fuck? I don't know, I've never heard that word before. Behind Natsuki puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is to oneself. You must be willing to open up your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess the same for you. For Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us get all a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Rumba? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're going back to the original topic of me going to the club, I bluntly come forth in what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made a decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lost my train of thought. Awful Rose stay at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought... Rumba, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-handed decision when it's like this? If writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem and to bring it to me for the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Remember, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. I can really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills. I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, while the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, Rama, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore. That's because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls: Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances. I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Alright, so we'll go poof. Okay, I don't like Natsuki. Fuck! Come on! Yuri's like the most prettiest one. Thank you. I didn't mean to double press Crimson, Anxiety, Raindrops, Horror, Incapable, Infallible, Hopeless, fuck, Tencious, Heaven Sent, Milk, Doki Doki. I don't know who I could have gotten there. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha 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 ha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Rumba. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into a literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sarah told me you didn't want to join any clubs this year, and last year too. I don't know if you plan to come here and just hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you sure have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Rumba always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sari, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting, and you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? I did that. I forgot to put water in a mac and cheese cup. Almost set the house on fire. The microwave was, though. You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come you and Rumba can become good friends, too? Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Harry made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew! Well, you can read at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't but help notice her tense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around the closet. I'm very curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her for reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think that she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. but that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. I was focusing, you probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so that's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason, just curious how you have two copies of the same book. Ah. Well, I stopped at the book. Jesus. Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, here, I'll take a drink of water. Oh, that'll help. And that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me about, but I decided to let it go. I'm fine. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is tilted portrait of Markov. There is an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escape from human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story. That dark turn came from nowhere. Ah! Gently giggles as I go, ah! I'm an idiot. Alright. All of a sudden. Are you not a fan of reading that sort of thing, Ramba? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just those kinds of stories. They challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals and their own philosophy that they believe in. And suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they are made out to be native one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fulfill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people, so I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slipped into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to, it's just something I'm not very used to. There's reading in company with someone. I see. Well, if you tell me if I end up distracting you or something. Alright. I open up the book and start the prologue. I still don't understand what Yuri means about reading in company, as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking down at her book. I glance over. She's reading from my book and said, "Sorry, I was just..." You really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. Jesus Christ. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and I hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and slides the left side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. It is same with my right arm on the right side of the book. The way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after and flips to her side, but in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me, but I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face as she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page? Yeah, sorry. I got a little bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? Don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you're being so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer speaks to me as if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I assume that she's finishing the page before me, so I turn to my own violation. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning the page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she's also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid to do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remained silent for a moment. But Rumba, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. It's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait. I didn't mean that in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I didn't really know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that that's kind of cute. Ah, what are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think that's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing your thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I read it with you? I guess they don't have too much preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be fun to read with you after it picks up a bit. That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up, I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I cannot believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sarah and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sarah's is wrinkled on a sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. You can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. And should I show my poem to first? Wait. Alright, I'm gonna go with Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I just say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates that you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Well, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri tails off, unable to find an excuse. Chases her finger along the words of her poem, breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay, this is the reason I was able to tell. There's specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. That aren't typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize is new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take some time, but It all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. Hope that everyone else in the club gives you a valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? Ow. Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Alright. Ghost Under the Light. Holy shit, this is hard to read cursive. I have no idea. The something of my hair illuminates beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light tickles. The light flickers, not tickles. This is some hard ass cursive to read. Fuck. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. Can she fucking hear me? I'm scared, man. What? I wasn't thinking that I was. It's not terrible. It's actually good, but it's so good that I can't fucking read it. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I think that your handwriting is pretty fucking bad. That's a relief. Also, I like well, it's not pretty fucking bad. It's pretty fucking hard to fucking read. Fuck, shit. I don't know. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Since it's easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost Yuri? Hoo hoo. Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Rumba. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. These bitches talk a lot. And soon to be left with nothing. My throat is starting to hurt. And I've been recording for fucking 38 minutes. It's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. I'm gonna finish this today and I'm gonna stop. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Rumba. Me too. Holy shit, that took a while. Oh my god. Okay. We're gonna do the bitch next. Alright. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. I just didn't evoke any emotions. Basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But it isn't the point of the poems for people to express themselves. Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand, but the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last time. I feel like I'm about to lose my voice.
These bitches talk too much. Oh my god. I have to talk about I have to talk as 5 characters. It hurts, man. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. I don't usually talk in my YouTube videos that much. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor with her with that last comment. Don't really care about how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. We'll do Monica last. I feel like that's gonna go the best for me. Sayori. This is a good poem, Rumba. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. I'm the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time. I guess you're right, but that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm just happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Or, well, of course, I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Rumba. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. That's something only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Okay, we'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue, it's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. I don't like breakfast foods. Okay, it's probably gonna get me a lot of hate. That ending part. Did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit. It's a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least this makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah, I didn't mean to say that was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. This bitch made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. The next time I won't forget. And I'm going to write the best poem ever. I guess I'll look forward to it. Alright, Monica. Hi, Rumba. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you have ever had any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off with going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ah! Okay, that's probably what's killing my voice. You can hear this. This hurts. Don't worry, Rumba. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll learn to get past soon. I'm going to the deeper voice, man. Because the little bit of a higher voice that I'm doing for the girls hurts. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Rumba. I was going to say, ooh, in my head. Why did I say it like that? Okay. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go so far in something so deep. I literally at one point just put poof some fucking shit. I don't know. It's not a good poem. I guess I underestimated you. It's the easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way I can always count. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know what Yuri likes? This kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it.
It's very challenging to write that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. Sorry, I forgot that fucking word. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. If I had to guess of the age groups here, Monica is probably in 12th grade, 12th or 11th with Yuri. And then I'd say Sayori and me are in the same grade. And then the youngest one here is Natsuki. So I'd say 11th, 12th. And then we're 1 year younger than Monica. And then Natsuki's either 1 or 2 years younger than us. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learning by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Why did I stutter? Everyone else might be a little biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't push yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Okay. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. Couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with permanent copy of meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into anything. A hole of infinite choices. I realized now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So, what'd you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. I'm sorry. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style really has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Dude, the yawns, bro. Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it, but I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany. Sorry, epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story or a brand, you get too try to make something perfect, you'll never make any progress. You'll just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a dark pool of ink. Smooth your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. I'm doing that just in case. I know that there's a save option. I've seen it before. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone's judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Bro, this hurts. Even if there's just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, staring their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I read each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration, while Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns to the poem on the desk with one hand. As you say, that's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? Really about the feelings of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that, but it just meant the language, I guess. Trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it, which people did, by the way. Say Yuri liked it, and Rumba did too, so based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, bitch? I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect you to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Rumba liked my poem too, you know? He even told me I was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to prove our new member, Yuri. Fucking music stopped, it scared me. Eh? That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Rumba appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. How do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? How are you that full of yourself? No, if I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? You know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Rumba started showing up. What the fuck? Natsuki? Natsuki, that's a little... Nat and Yuri, this doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly both girls tortured me and they noticed I was just standing there. Rumba, she's trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it, as if she can get it over herself to learn the appreciation that simple writing is more effective. Damn, Natsuki with the boob comment, that's fun. Then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What the point is making your poems all convoluted for no reason. The meaning to just jump out of the reader and not force them to have to figure it out. Let me explain that to her, Rumba. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words. It's our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most... it's so hard to read. Avoiding them is not the only unnecessarily limiting yourself. It's also a waste. You understand that, right, Rumba? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? Not like I know anything about writing. Whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly likely of me. You're right. I pressed Yuri! I 100% pressed Yuri! There is no way I pressed Natsuki. That didn't happen. I pressed Yuri. Wait, that's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I fucking picked Yuri! I understand. Do I have to go back now? Here, I'm skipping through this. Alright, look at Yuri. What? I am picking Yuri!
Yuri adopted.
Yuri, you're really talented. Well, Manatsuki has a point. I think that I racked my brain in an attempt to back myself up. I think that conveying feelings with few words can be as impressive as well. It lets the reader's imagination take over, and Natsuki's poem did a really good job at that. Yeah. It did, didn't it? Aha! Shows how much you know. Wait, so when I chose Yuri, it was a better option. It seems like both of them I choose Natsuki. That's what it seems like. Yuri, Natsuki, you're right, I liked your poem. See? Wait.
That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri? Eh? You're a seriously talented writer, and it's no secret that I was impressed. But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it and becomes something really personal. So Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that Natsuki. I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I ended up feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk to clear my head. Sorry, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. Spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem in her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki, she really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in the adjacent chair. Sigh. Everything's alright. I'm so embarrassed. Can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Rumba. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you part of this club now. It's not. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do something so shameful. The boob thing, I'm guessing. What thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind. I'm guessing it's the boob thing. I'm going to make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. But how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nodded to myself with newfound determination. Rumba! Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, what about what happened earlier? What do you mean? Between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise, they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I want to see if I can see why they make good friends with you. Phew! Rumba, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone else, with everyone, is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Well, we'll just see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder, and I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah. Let's do this. Alright. I'm gonna save here. And I'm gonna end the video. Hope you guys did enjoy this video of Doki Doki Literature Club. I had fun. Hard game, I'd say, to read on my voice box. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Good. Out to the